Today I would like us to talk about singleness, or how to be single the right way and not feel bad about it. So let's get to it. So yes, I wanted us to discuss the subject of being single. And yes, if you are single, is that a bad thing? It depends on your point of view and how you are, dealing with it. So the point is how to be single and enjoy being single. It's not a bad thing being single. Whether it is a good thing for you or a bad thing for you, I personally feel being single, there's nothing wrong with being single, and there is more to gain out of being single, whether you are male or female. Okay, so let's go through it. Number one, if you are single, is that a bad thing? No. It's time you look at yourself. It's an opportunity for you to look at yourself and ask yourself, what do you want in a relationship? Okay, so for example, you are out of a relationship. Why did it not work? It didn't work because this and this and that, or you might be repeating certain patterns that you have been, doing. Could even come from another lifetime, because we sometimes carry our karma or past life with us, because as I always understand, subconsciously, the person you've always been before is always there, because that person is still within you, is within your soul, is within your subconscious. And that's why we dream. And then next I'll talk about dreaming and how all these things work. Yeah, so as you are single, ask yourself, is there a pattern? Why are you single now? Is that a bad thing? No, I don't think it's a bad thing. But how are you going to enjoy being single? Look at all the things you are going to gain as a single person, okay? You gain strength, inner strength, okay? I'm not saying there's anything bad about being in a relationship, but I'm just saying you also have to come to a point where you have a good relationship with yourself, to the point that you don't mind being single until you meet the right person, okay? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can check my previous video concerning about having a good relationship with yourself. But this is about you being single in comparison to being in a romantic relationship. So sometimes people will make you feel as if being single is a bad thing or is a taboo, but I don't see it that way. Okay, sometimes there are certain things you are doing, sometimes there are certain things you are allowing people to do, and because you get to a point you are not happy with how you are allowing people to treat you, or your partner to treat you, or your partners to treat you, and that is why things are not working. Okay, it could also be things that you might be doing that you don't have any self-control. Because if you don't have a good relationship with yourself, you haven't got any self-control, you are going to impose your bad behavior or unacceptable behavior to the people you meet, the people you couple up with, and in the end it's not going to work. So how are you going to deal with being single? I feel the best way to be single is to take a pen and a paper, as I always do. In everything, reflect. In this relationship with whoever, you put it down, you write their name down. How did that go? How did we break up? And after we broke up, what ended there? Why did I want to be in the relationship? What is the point of me being in a relationship? And what is the point of me being single now? How am I going to cope being on my own? Is it going to be a good thing or is it going to be a bad thing? I always say, look at the good side. Because when you are on your own, there's a lot you can achieve. Because look at it this way. To be in a relationship, my goodness. Yeah, it takes a lot, because you don't have to think about just you. You have yourself to maintain, whatever that maintenance is. It could be work, it could be home, it could be children, it could be anything. But for example, let's say you are single, as in single, you have no kids. Let's talk about that first. Okay? If you are on your own, not in a relationship, single, I think it's a good thing. It's the time for you to ask yourself, what am I going to do differently in my next relationship? And if even I want a relationship, and how long am I going to stay single for before I go into a relationship? Because a relationship is a two-way thing. Being a romantic relationship is a two-way thing. And if you think it's all about you, obviously you've got it wrong. Because I know people who thought the relationship was all about them and it still didn't work out, you see. So it's called relationship with someone else. It's not about just you. Okay, when you have a romantic relationship, of course you have to think about the other person. And relationship is hard work. It's not about, I don't think it's all about all these romantic things people are talking about. No, it's not about just the romance. The romance is there if you are going to put in the effort. The romance is going to be dead in no time if you don't put in the effort. But besides that, there are other things as to being in a relationship. Some people want to be in a relationship for companionship. Some people want to be in a relationship for status. Some people want to be in a relationship just because it will please other people, you see. So you have to ask yourself, which one am I looking for? Okay, because relationship is not easy. It's not easy at all, especially when you are not totally ready for it. And if you are in a relationship because other people are in relationships, so you want to be in a relationship, I think that's the best bad way to do it, or the worst way not to do it. Yes, that's how I mean it. It is best. It is, you're doing the wrong thing the best way by not being in a relationship for the right reasons, if you understand. Of course, if you are on your own, look at all the things you can do. You have no male or female, nobody is distracting you. If you want to focus on yourself for a year or 6 months or 2 months, whatever you want to do, you have just you to focus on. That doesn't mean you have to cut off from people or from socializing. I'm talking about romantic relationship. Because once there's someone in your life, you know, you have to make time for them. And if you're not ready for that extra time, for that extra somebody to feel special, for them to make you feel special, is dead before it's dead and buried before you can even consider thinking about it. Relationships are not as simple or easy or as straightforward. Okay, relationship is all about communication, understanding, respect, and most of all, boundaries. Because if there are no boundaries in a relationship, nothing works. And if you don't set people's boundaries for them from the get-go, that's it. Because for you to even have a healthy romantic relationship, you have to have boundaries. So now that you are lucky to be single, as a single person, I'm talking about someone who haven't got kids, haven't got anything else. You have just yourself to look after. You need to heal yourself first. You need to find out what you want in your next relationship. And that's if you want a relationship. Why do you want a relationship? Is it because society is telling you? Is it because all your friends are in a relationship and you are not? I can assure you it's not a bad thing, because if you decide for a year or two, I'm going to focus on myself and heal, next time when you are totally ready for a relationship, you know what your boundaries are. You know, I'm not going to accept this. I'm not going to. You will have time to reflect on why the other relationships didn't work. And most of all, you need to be judging yourself, not the other person, because whatever happened, either you allowed it to happen or you did it. So you have to ask yourself, in this previous relationship, what happened, what went on. Look at the patterns that has made you become single, and maybe being single is the best thing for you. You don't need to be in any serious relationship. You have to let the person know, I'm not looking for a serious relationship. Some people are absolutely happy with that. You just want to be friends. Some people are single and they are enjoying it. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean that it is best to be on your own. No, you all need to have people to communicate to, to have companionship. But if you are single, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't be ashamed of it, because some people want you to feel ashamed of it, because sometimes they're in a relationship that they want to get out of, you see, but they make it sound as if it's so romantic and everything. It's a lie. I know people who pretended that they had the best relationships because they thought I was single and I was desperate. That's what they thought. But no, I was single, enjoying being single. And during that time, I have come to a conclusion that this and this and that is what I like in a relationship. And if I don't like that, if I'm not getting that, I'm not interested. Because society expects so much from women, especially. So I'm looking at it from that point of view. And society don't expect anything from women when it comes to relationship. It doesn't expect. Society does not expect too much from men when it comes to relationship. They think the man is supposed to be strong, look after the house financially, that's it. But that's not it, okay? So I feel the way society project certain things on the community puts certain pressure, which is unhealthy, okay? So people feel, well, if I'm single, everybody's going to look at me as the bad person or whatever. No. When you are single, you can do a lot of stuff. You can travel by yourself or with your friends, and there's nobody's going to say, where are you going? Nobody's bothering you. If you want to build your career, you can build a career. You need to set a time. But if you think you want to be in a relationship in the future, you have to be realistic. Okay, I'm going to take a year or two to get to know myself, and then know that this is what I want. If you are a man or a woman, you need to understand, okay, this is what I want next time in a relationship. Is the romantic bit more important to me, or do I need essential bit where I have companionship, I have understanding, I have respect? Because whatever love is how you define it. You see, because love is something we can't touch, but we have to make it. That's why we say people make love. You have to make the love happen. And it's how you create it. I'm not talking about sexual stuff. I'm talking about you making, this is what love is to you. Some people, they feel love is all about gift. You see, the more you buy them gifts, the more they feel loved. And some people, they don't want anything from you as long as they are buying you stuff, because they feel they can afford the love. I know people like that. So you have to understand there's nothing wrong with being single. But if you feel in the future you want to be in a relationship, I would say, yeah, have a goal, have a goal for yourself, have some time set up and say, okay, in 2 to 3 years time, I'm going to do this, and then after that I'm going to be in a relationship. And whilst I'm doing that, are you open to be in a romantic relationship or not? Okay? Or is your time so fixed to the point that you don't want to say, okay, it's 2 years, and after 2 years I can be in a relationship? Or I'm doing this and I give myself 3 years. Within the 3 years, if I meet someone, then I'll be in a relationship. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't be ashamed of being single, because like I said, once you have someone in your life, you have to give them your time, because that's what they want. And some people, you make time for them and they don't appreciate you. That's even worse. They don't appreciate you. So it's like, what is the point? What is the point? Will you be better off being single? Or would you be better off pretending that you're in a relationship and you're happy? No, that's what I'm saying. How to be single and enjoy it, because there's nothing wrong with it. And if you are a single parent and being single is an issue for you, ask yourself, are you ready for a relationship? And if someone comes into your life, whether you are male or female, when are you going to introduce them to your children? And how are you going to do that? How long is that going to take? And now that you have kids already, do you need just companionship? Because some people want to be in a relationship because they want everything. But sometimes some people want to be in a relationship because they want to have a family or they want to have children. But once you've had children and your other relationship didn't work out, what next? Next time you're looking for a relationship, what is it going to look like? And at this point, if you are a single parent, is there anything wrong with that? No. Get to know yourself as a parent. That's how I would look at it. How is my parenting skills? How am I relating to myself? How are my children looking at me as an individual? And how do I treat myself? And how am I treating them? And if there was someone else, how would they view it? I feel like there's a lot of things to consider there. You see, if you are single and you're not in any relationship, please don't put pressure on yourself to please anybody, because quite frankly, they don't care. People don't care. There are only a few people who are going to care about your well-being. And if your well-being means that you should be single, they will support you being single. Okay? You don't need to be in competition with other people. Okay? You don't need to be in competition with other people. And of course, I feel that these are some of the things people get themselves too worried about, what people are thinking about. People, and most of the time, those who are talking, sometimes they are even jealous that you are single because they are in a relationship where they can't get out. They are not happy. And if you are single and you are happy, they are jealous of you. I have seen it in so many ways. I know people who have been like that. And sometimes they end up saying things and you know that, yes, they are just upset that you are single. Maybe you were in a bad relationship and you go out of it, but they are still in a bad relationship. But you're going to make it sound as if you have done something wrong because you have actually done something good to look after yourself for your own well-being, your own self-worth and everything. So don't let people put pressure on you that you are single and that you're a failure. Enjoy it. How to enjoy it is to reassess yourself and ask yourself, if you want to be in a relationship again, how are you going to, how are you going to bring your A game? Are you going to give it your all? How are you going to just start little? What do you want? Okay. So next time we will talk about commitment and the point of, having even a committed relationship, if that is what people want, because some people just want commitment, and we will talk about that in our next subject. And so yes, I think I will leave the subject here. And yes, feel free, be single, enjoy being single, and there's nothing wrong with that. There is more that you can do. Okay, there's more, you have more time to yourself to do a lot of stuff. But like I said, if you decide that you want to be in a relationship again, you need to have a time limit that you want to be single. Okay, I have some projects, so after this time or that time, this is what I'm looking for. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that. So don't be afraid to be single. Enjoy being single and be healthy with yourself. Okay. And yes, I will leave this subject here, and next time we'll talk about commitment. And then yes, I hope you will subscribe, like, share and comment. If you have any question, let me know and I will get back to you. Thank you and see you next time.